Hi there everyone, Jack here again at the Vinyl Voyage. What a weekend I've had this weekend. From Thursday night I was at the Belladrum Tartan Heart Music Festival just outside of Inverness in the beautiful Belladrum estate. What a weekend of live music, great food and drink, different kind of artistic shows and acts that were on, but best of all, I got to meet one of my biggest ever musical heroes, an absolute legend. I don't say that lightly at all. An absolute legend of the 60s psychedelic music scene. You might have a clue who I'm talking about. But I got to chat to him for a while. He was really, really gracious with his time and told me some really, really exciting news of some new releases that are going to be coming out next year. Then this morning, I had a record fair and picked up a couple of nice records as well. So, without further ado, check out my weekend.
How the north wind blows on the streets, September got out of hand, but you're my girl, and I'm your man. Times
Yeah, do you know, it looks like the weather is going to clear up. I know we had that little rain shower earlier. It's looking like, I looked on the early thing, 6%, 8%, so I think they're going to be okay. Here's a song from our latest album. That's where tracks lead to the south. Catch a train down to the sun.
There you go, the great Johnny Eccles. What an absolutely amazing guy. So gracious with his time, really interesting to listen to when he was doing that Q&A session where he spoke about his early years, his early friendship with Arthur, how love put together Forever Changes, and ultimately how they became really disillusioned with the music business after the commercial failure of Forever Changes. Then he went on to say how he became a session musician through in New York, and then as we know, Arthur formed a new love with For Sale and took the band in a kind of harder rock direction. But yeah, really fascinating to listen to. And like I said, just a real gentleman. He had photos with us after the Q&A session. answered some of my questions as well. I asked him if there was anything left in the vaults in terms of love material from the Elektra or Blue Thumb years, and he said that next spring there's going to be 2 releases coming out, spring of 2025, which sounded amazing. He said that they were, some of the songs are songs that were partly recorded by Arthur, and then they've done a bit of a Beatles anthology thing where the rest of the band have put on overdubs and using AI and managed to recreate kind of Arthur's vision for these albums. But I was speaking to the other Love guys prior to the Q&A session outside the tent. They were fantastic guys as well, and they said to me that, well, I asked them about the EP Love on Earth Must Be, which was a 4-track EP that came out, I think, the kind of early 90s, and it was a CD only release, very syrupy, kind of poor production, but the songs on it I thought were brilliant. They said that that's been overhauled and it's going to be put out as a 17-track release, and they said to me, forget what you think you know about those songs. What is going to be put out next year absolutely blows them away. So really, really looking forward to hearing that as well. But when I knew that Love were going to be playing at the festival, I was going to bring through my Forever Changes album and try and get it signed, and I forgot to bring it through. I was gutted. I can't believe I forgot it. So I drove into Inverness from the festival on the morning they were playing, and all the record shops I went to, not one of them had a Love album, which is just crazy. I don't even know. You can't call HMV. How can you call yourself a record shop if you don't even have any albums by Love? It was bizarre. But so I spoke to them about that, and I said, "Oh, any chance of a set list from when you play live?" And they said, "Yeah, we'll give you one of our set lists." So here you go. This was the set list that Love played at Belladrum. Absolutely brilliant set. As usual, the band are so on point. You can see how they really revitalised Arthur's career because they're such a solid band, all great players. They've got a new bass player. I think he's new. I didn't recognise the young bass player from the 2 times that I'd seen Love before, but he was fantastic as well. Just a great sound. Rusty's vocals, he's taken over lead vocal from Arthur, and it's almost like he's channeling the spirit of Arthur Lee because he was absolutely fantastic as well. Brilliant guitar playing and just so much energy and fantastic. So yeah, really pleased to get this as well.
We're talking 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, talking 1, 2.
So like I mentioned at the start, this morning I went to a record fair, and it was one of these Alander record fairs. They tour around Scotland. They visit the Highlands 2 or 3 times a year, so I always like to visit the record fair, try and pick something up.
I see you going around, quiet eyes, sad and brown. I heard what he had done. I got my coat, I got my gun. Tracks lead to the south. Catch a train down to the sun. Leave this broken town. Never know just what we've done, or see what we've become.
And what I got this morning was kind of ironic because I'd hunted high and low in Inverness for an Love album, and then I picked this up today. Love's second album, Da Capo, from 1966. I think it was November 66. I got this for 14 quid, which was a bit of a bargain. I thought vinyl and sleeve are both in cracking condition. It is a kind of bit of a later German reissue on Elektra. So yeah, I love this album, full of great songs. I think when they played the other night, let me think, I don't think that they did anything off of Da Capo. They didn't do Stephanie Knows Who or Orange Skies. No, sorry, they did. They played 7 and 7 Is. That was their last song. 7 and 7 Is was absolutely fantastic. Thought they might do She Comes in Colours, but no, it was a short set. They only played for an hour. But yeah, 7 and 7 Is was brilliant, and really happy to pick this up. I've got it on CD, but nice to get it on record. And, oh, in fact, that's what I was going to do as well. And now, obviously, like, records are little mementos, aren't they, and memories. So I thought it'd be a nice little memory for me to stick in my set list into my Da Capo sleeve. And that's that'll live in there now as a little memento of when I bought the Love album. Okay, so next up, I bought so much Psych and prog recently, and a lot of like albums with extended jams, that I wanted something a bit easier listening. So I thought I'll get something to kind of round out my Neil Young collection. Neil Young's usually an easy listen. So I picked up a copy of Homegrown. I listened to this when it came out in 2020, and I really, really liked it. And I never got round to buying a physical copy. But if you don't know Homegrown, it is an album that was recorded between On the Beach and Zuma, and it wasn't released. And it was pegged to be released in, I think, round about 1975. And Neil Young ended up not putting this out. He felt it was too much of a personal album. It's a kind of breakup album. The kind of breakup of his relationship with Carrie Snodgrass was happening round about this time, but he ended up going with Tonight's the Night. He felt that the performances on Tonight's the Night were stronger, and he shelved this, and it remained in his archives for like 45 years, and then he put it out in 2020. But lots of the songs on here appear in different shapes and forms, either with other people covering them, like Stephen Stills did one of the songs. One of the songs ends up on Decade. So the songs through the years have appeared in other shapes and forms, but it was great to get this out in 2020 because it's really, really nice. It's a really soft acoustic country album, really easy to get into, and yeah, just a fabulous part of Neil Young's canon, I think. Really good. Some great players on here as well. Robbie Robertson plays on, I think it's White Line he plays on. Levon Helm plays drums in the first two tracks, and Emmylou Harris provides backing vocals in a track as well. But yeah, really good stuff. Neil Young, Homegrown, so I'm going to listen to that tonight. And that's really me. That was my weekend. I'm going to kind of wrap this video up, because you can see that it's getting darker and darker, and my ring light is broke. And if I talk much longer, I'm just going to be sitting in the dark. So I hope you enjoyed the video and finding out a little bit about what the Belladrum Music Festival is all about. It's a great festival, really family friendly. There's a great vibe there. If you're ever in the Inverness area when it's on, go to it. It's fantastic. But yeah, really, really good weekend. Really excited to hear about Love putting out new material in spring next year. If you liked my video, then give us a thumbs up. And any comments about the festival or festivals you've been to, or Love, or the albums that I bought, stick them in the comments. I always like to read your comments. And if you want to subscribe for more content, then please do. And before I'm sitting in the complete pitch black, see you later.